We all are. On behalf of the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, I'd like to welcome all of you here tonight and thank everyone for coming out. This has been a tradition of the Chamber of Commerce to have policy in Pints. And it's about trying to get candidates and people who are in the legislature, city council members, board of supervisors to get together and just talk about people. It's not about any politics, it's about learning the issues. We do have two city council candidates here tonight that would like to say just a few minutes of what they're about. But this is really kind of a social event. We've held a number of events in the chamber this year. One of them was having all the city council members come and just meet and greet. We had the school board members that came and meet and greet. And so on behalf of the board, we think this is a good way for people just to come out and learn about the candidates. Sometimes it's easier to learn with a handshake and just to develop a conversation to learn about our people that we elect in the city, the state, and the county. So on behalf of the chamber, we would love to see you all here. This wouldn't happen without great sponsorship. Matt Johnson and Barley's have bought this. CHI Health, Denise McNitt is here tonight, and I would like to have both of them come up and just say a few words about the hospital and obviously about Barley. Matt, you want to talk about the hospital first, or then we're going to
keep drinking. Well, welcome everybody. I appreciate everybody showing up. This is a great event. And, you know, what better place to kind of have community here than right here at Barley's, which is in the heart of the downtown area. So appreciate that, Matt. I don't think I have to tell you how important healthcare is. I have to give a little bit of a plug, right? I mean, both Jenny and Mercy here in the Council Bluffs area were responsible for about, I would guess collectively, about 1,200 employees. And so when you start doing the math on all the people that live here in the community, buy and purchase things, and live here, spend their money, and actually they contribute to the community, it's an incredible economic force in the community. And honestly, I don't know if anybody realizes, again, what the healthcare quality is in the community. Of course, our metro area is incredible, but when you even look at Mercy Hospital, and I'm going to put a plug in for Jenny too, because collectively we have some amazing hospitals. And so I do have to say that I'm honored that we serve a lot of people in this room and that we serve your families. And so I appreciate the turnout, and of course the roles that all of you elected officials play in the community is essential to the success of the community and to the health care of our community. So thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you, Denise, and thank you all for being here. We only have 2 of the 6 candidates here. I just got off the phone with Roger. He's on a plane on his way back. He'll try to make it, but I don't think he will. But I just want to say thanks for everybody coming out, the downtown, supporting our events, everything we do down here. We've been here almost 19 years now, and we love being downtown. So that's what I like.
Again, thank you to the sponsors. Tonight we do have Tim Wickman, County Board of Supervisor. Charlie McConkey here from the state legislature. Dan Dawson from the our state senator. Melissa Head, city council member. County Board of Supervisors. Mary Ann Hanusa is on her way and will be here in a little bit. As you know, Roger's dad is going to speak on behalf of Roger. And he said, hell no. So Roger's in the air somewhere above, somewhere. We don't know where he's at. But we do have two city council members that I'd like to introduce. And Chad Hannon, that will speak just a few minutes about why he's running for the city council.
Start a timer. I could go for
2 minutes.
How about we'll go? All right, 2 minutes it is. Thank you all for coming out. This is the last event throughout the process of what has become this campaign. It means a lot when you show up at an opportunity to meet the taxpayers and the voters in the community and have a turnout like this. It's tough when you show up and there's 10 or 15 people there, and it's almost more nerve-wracking than it is with a room full of people. So first of all, thank you all for showing up. Thank you to Matt, right there, and Denise and CHI for your sponsorship of this event. I sit on the chamber board. I also am the secretary of the executive board. So the Total Resource Campaign is vital to the operations of the chamber. So it's events like this that allow us to give back to our members. And so very excited to be here. Why I'm running, that's the first thing everyone asks me. Why are you running for city council? It's not because I have nothing to do in my spare time or anything like that. I love this community. I love the people that live here, I love the people that work here, and the people that want to be a part of this community. And the best way that I know how to give back is to put the leadership skills that were provided to me by my parents, by my in-laws, by people like Matt. True story, I needed a job in the mid-2000s when the housing economy crashed, and it was tough. Matt called me and said, hey, I hear you're looking for work. Come on down and bartend. I didn't know how to make a drink the proper way. Most of you that I have served probably still would agree that I don't know how to make a drink still. But it's people like Matt that give back to this community, and the things that Matt has taught me over not only the last 15 years or so, but especially over the last couple of years. Things about leadership in your community and giving back, not only monetarily, but giving back with your time. Matt got me on my first nonprofit board, which was Bluffs downtown. We merged and created an organization called 712 Initiative, and Cheryl Garson's here. This is my normal pitch, not just because all these people are in the crowd. 712 Initiative is an amazing organization. If you don't know anything about them, find me after. I would love to tell you about the difference that we're making in this community and its leadership from people like Cheryl and her team that are making a difference in our neighborhoods and in our development community. What my dreams are for Council Bluffs are really simple. Open, honest communication, collaboration, no more infighting, no more fighting with the county. We need to take the relationships that we can build and make them positive and put those to work for the people that are paying us. We cannot get along as taxpayers for much longer if we can't have our elected officials work together. And that includes working with the folks in the state senate and the legislature. We need to make sure that when they're in Des Moines, they have the information necessary to make sure that Council Bluffs is first and foremost when we're talking about opportunities. And lastly, why I'm running is because of my kids. This is the first event really that they've been able to attend. I want my kids to want to live here when they grow up. And I want my grandkids someday to want to live here when they grow up. I want them to have the same great experience in this community that I had. And the best way that I know how to do that is to run for city council. So, I humbly ask you for your vote on November 5th. You have 3 choices. I'm just asking for one. If you have questions, I will stay here until the last person leaves.
I'm leaving, but I don't know if you guys know.
On the table are some flyers. My email address is on there. The link to my Facebook account is there. I'll give you my phone number. Call me, email me, text me, whatever. I'm here for you, and that won't change after November 5th. Thank you.
Well, Joe, you're down to a half a minute. And it went a little bit too long. So, and again, this is another city council candidate, Joe DeSalvo.
Well, thank you everyone for coming. On as to why I would like to be on city council, many folks have asked me the last couple of months, and the simple answer is, you know, there's things that I want to see happen in town. Is everything perfect? Everyone responds, well, no, nothing's ever perfect. I said, okay, are you going to fix it then? Well, no, that would be nuts. Why would I do that? I said, perfect then. I'm the guy. No more talking about it. Let's do it. Many of you I've worked with, many of you I've worked around. You may know me, you may know my family. If not, I'm from Council Bluffs. My family's from Council Bluffs. I left for a short period of time. I went up to Sioux City, went to school. I came back. Finding a job wasn't easy at that time. There's many folks that I went to school with that are from here that graduated with me from Abraham Lincoln that never came back. You know, my sister's a prime example. She left, went off, never came back. She's got jobs. She went to Chicago, she went to Los Angeles. She's not coming back here. I want my children to come back here and make Council Bluffs a better place. I want, you know, as was stated before, my grandkids to come back here and be, you know, working to make Council Bluffs a better place. I'd like to be able to say, when I'm hitting retirement age, to my kids and my grandkids, this is what Grandpa did for you when he was, you know, this age. This is my stamp on the community. This is what we did to advance things. This is what we did to grow. This is why you're still here. This is why your friends came back. This is why your friends have jobs. This is why your friends are successful in this community right here. There is a great community here. We have great opportunity. We can succeed. We can grow. We have to make the right decisions now. We've stagnated as a population. It's simple to see. We're stagnated at about 62,000 people. A comment was made the other night, one of our first forums at the library. In '78, we were larger than we are now. Everyone talks about bringing in large, high-paying jobs. That's all well and good. But the majority of Council Bluffs doesn't need those jobs. They need jobs that pay $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. You can make a living in Council Bluffs for $40,000 and live. Let's bring those jobs back. Let's support the small businesses in town that employ people that work their second job. I employ about 20 people with my wife and her cousins. It's all part-time folks, but everyone has a full-time job. It's that extra money they need to get by. That's what we need to be supportive of. Push those businesses. Get them to get people what they need to get by. If you have any questions for me after, I'll be here. But thank you for your time, and I ask for your vote on November 5th.
Oh, thanks, Joe. And again, we're going to try to get the elected officials, those who are elected now, and those who would like to be elected, to give an opportunity that everybody can stand up and just talk to them. This is a social event. Dan Dawson, we're going to ask Dan just to say a little thing about the state legislature. He's our senator in this area. And Dan, could you just give us a few minutes of what you see going on?
Yeah, thank you everyone. I guess we're prepared for this, so we'll go ad lib vote here real quick. Again, I just want to say thanks everyone for being here. The same things that Charlie and I talk about, the state capitol and how they Council Bluffs great, our candidates here are talking about tonight. I apologize about that. This is ways to try to make this community grow, you know, and make Harlan grow, make Potawatomi County grow. That's something we're going to be concentrating on. We try to concentrate on every year. We might have different opinions how we go about doing that. One of the first things that we want to do at the legislative side this next year is to expedite our tax plan. The reality is that we have a tax code and tax rates that are substantially higher than what you have over in Nebraska. The tax plan that we put in place 2 years ago will get us, for the first time in 50 years, rates below that of Nebraska. which is our biggest competitor, whether it be property taxes, whether it be income taxes, and a whole other slew of things. So that's something to look forward to this next year. I think we're going to have a spirited debate on how do we move that target date up in 2023 to further, hopefully closer up here and whatnot, to actually give us a more competitive advantage to our neighbors across the river. There's a whole other slew of things we need to talk about. Housing is a big issue. Constantly go around here and counsel us. The business you talk to, the two biggest things they talk about is one, how they can get more applicants, which that's an overall job pool issue. And secondarily, the applicants they can't bring here, the jobs they can't bring here, where are they going to stay at? So housing is going to be a big issue. We need to focus on that. Hope we can donate some energies here this next session. I'll keep it quick and I'll pass it off. Thanks everyone for coming out here. Everyone, make sure you go for your friend. Make sure you go out and have them vote here next Tuesday because that's part of democracy. We have soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines who have fought and died for our right to vote here for 200 years in the past, and I hate to see anyone miss that opportunity to take part in our community, take part in policy, and make our area better. So thank you.
Thanks, Dan. And now we have another city or county board of supervisors. Justin Schultz just came in. He was out trick or treating and just a little early. Thanks, Justin. Charlie McConkey, like to say a few words. Charlie, he's our representative in the west side of Carter Lake.
Well, thank you, Tom. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Dan covered a lot of good points. I mean, we got a housing issue. We got affordable housing is huge in this town. We did work on that the last session. We passed double the workforce housing from 10 million to 20 million, but we also delegated it all to the first year of the rule. So it won't help Council Plus at all, but it's going to clear up a lot of messes and get us back on track. And that's huge. And with the huge flooding we've had, I was lucky enough to get on the flood mitigation board and the flood infrastructure board. I've been monitoring the flooding that's going on and what it's done to our community. It's just, I think this is about the worst disaster as possible. I mean, with a tornado or a fire, you're going to recovery right away. We haven't even started the recovery on this, and it's been since March. We're offering assistance, and it's just too slow. There's still people that can't return to their homes. We have a constant, but it is getting there. So I'm going to. There's a lot of good candidates, and I do urge you to get out and vote. I won't be on the ballot this year, but I want everybody to get out and vote. And I am going to hang around. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Melissa, would you like to say a few words? Again, this is all about getting our people, our elected people and non-elected people out to talk a little bit. Melissa,
Keep it short, I wasn't planning this. Mostly I just want to say thank you all for being here. This is a huge turnout. It's really, really great to see so many people interested in the city and in the community, and that just makes my heart happy because we all invest. There's not a single elected person that doesn't do it because they love their community. We don't do it for any other reason, so to see you all here is really great. Matt, thank you. You've been a community leader that I've grown up with you, we've grown up together, and I've seen you just excel and really put your heart out there. I mean, you put so much time in the community, I think it's often overlooked, so thank you, Matt, for everything you do. Mayor Hannafin, next Mayor Hannafin. Whatever. Thank you as well. I mean, you were the mayor forever, county board, and now you're leading us in the chamber, and we really appreciate the chamber hosting this tonight. It's a great chance just to meet everybody. I would just say, the most important thing is get out and vote. Whoever you're going to vote for, the most important thing is exercise your right, get out and vote. And I think what we really have to do after November 5th, no matter who the next three are, whether it's the same ones that are on there now or it's a change, is just work together as a team. I know a few of them folks, that's going to be my goal, is building back a team, both on council, with county, with our state, and with our community, with iOS, with the business leaders. So the biggest goal, I think, is work as a team. Let's find some opportunities and problems and solve them together. So good luck to everybody running, and thank you for putting your hat in the ring.
thanks, Melissa. And Tim Wickman, would you like to say anything on behalf of the county? As long as we have all these elected officials, we're trying to hear something on it.
Well, I really wasn't prepared for this either, but thanks for the opportunity, Tom. I'd like to thank Matt and Denise for putting this together and hosting it. This is a very important election in the City Council. As you know, that I am Chairman of the Board of Supervisors. We still have some issues that we have to address as far as flooding goes. We still have about 30 miles of roads underwater. We have 60 homes that are affected, thousands of acres. And every one of those farm trails up there, that's a business that we're losing. So it's very important that we work with our legislators and the City Council in trying to address the flooding issues that we have in Potawatomi County. Potawatomi County is in really good shape. We have a good leadership team on the county, and two of my supervisors here. I believe somebody said Scott was here. I don't see him, but okay. We're doing really well. I could go on and tell you about all the good things we're doing, but this is actually, I thought, was going to be a city council forum. So again, exercise your right to vote. We had 6% voter turnout in the primary. We need to do a lot better than that. So please exercise your right to vote. Get out and vote. Thank you.
Well, like everyone else, I wasn't exactly prepared for this, but I guess the one message I want to send to everyone, just being on the county board and, being involved in the last, 5 years, is that one thing I've noticed about our community is how resilient we are. So, we've been talking about all the problems and all the different things we have going on, but you got great leadership in place. You got a lot of good people in the right places that are working their tails off to make sure that we get this thing back together, to make sure our city and the rest of Pot County is functioning and rolling right along. So, with these floods, it's tough. I work down at the ethanol plant down there, and I see exactly daily what's going on with these farmers and the struggles that they have. But they always say things like, you know what, next year's going to be my year, next year's going to be my year. And so if the one message I get to get back to everyone in this room is that we're a resilient community. We always have been, we always will be. We're going to roll up our sleeves, we're going to do the hard work, and we're going to get things done. But what it takes is good leadership, and it takes your vote. It really, really does. It means that you got to go talk to your neighbors, your friends, your family, your kids that probably haven't been voting like they should be. Talk to them and get them to the polls and make sure they cast their ballot, because it absolutely depends on that. It depends on you, and we wouldn't be as successful without it. So, again, thank you, Matt and Tom and everyone that's put this thing together. It's been it's always great to get the group together and see the whole community. And we might have differences, and that's perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, we're a family, we're a community. We got to work together. So, thank you, and I appreciate everyone for coming. And that's all I got.
Is on her way, and she'll be a little bit late. We've invited all the city council candidates to be here tonight. We thought we'd invite our state legislators and other county board of supervisors. And we, on behalf of the board, this idea is about getting people together, have a little bit of fun, a little social activity, and learning about the candidates one-on-one. So, on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, again, I want to thank Denise and CHI Health and Matt for being the sponsors. These people are leaders in our community, and we need to support them. Denise, I was born at Mercy Hospital. I remember the day Matt was born, so you can tell what they'll have to be. So again, let's just socialize. If you need to talk to the candidates or those people that are running or not running, this is a great time for us to get together. So thank you very much.
KCCI 8 News at 5 starts right now. Tall.
Plus, meet the man vying for the 3rd congressional district seat while he's running against Republican incumbent David Young. Holder is trying to elbow his way past the more established Republican incumbent David Young and Democratic challenger Cindy Axne. KCCI's Marcus McIntosh introduces us to Libertarian Brian Holder.
This has been a long time in coming for me. This is the 3rd time I've run for this congressional district.
Brian Holder first campaigned for the 3rd district congressional seat in 2014, again in 2016, and now in 2018. This debate with his opponents at KMA Radio, he says, is a first.
I decided to run just because I've always been a student of history, been interested in government and how it works.
Born in Omaha, Nebraska, he grew up in the Council Bluffs area with a younger sister, an x-ray technician mother, and a father who was a school principal.
I was raised by a follower of Coach Bobby Knight, you know, the general. My dad was very strict, and he gave me that strict upbringing. I didn't screw up at school because obviously being a school principal, he would find out about it.
He says he kept his nose clean, focusing on his schoolwork and athletics.
Went to college on a basketball scholarship at Iowa Western.
But a degenerative disc disease in his 6'7" frame put an end to any hoop dreams. He stayed on scholarship by playing baseball for the Reveres for 2 years. Then went on to Bellevue University and a degree in psychology before earning his Juris Doctorate from Creighton University Law School. For the last 2 decades, he has worked in the family photography business and also calls himself a citizen journalist.
I film town halls. I film about 50 high school basketball games every winter. I filmed about 16 soccer matches for the local high school kids, and I put this content online for free for the community.
Holder knows his endgame in the 3rd congressional district is not a win in the November election. A victory for him would be to get 5 or 6% of all the votes cast.
I don't see it going much above that, just because there's not enough people willing to let go of the two-party system.
Holder is a campaign of one. He does not ask for votes. He has no budget for TV or radio advertising and one campaign sign that is in his own front yard. He does not take campaign contributions, saying that would stray him away from the campaign he is determined to run on his own.
I could go out and start talking to my friends and family and form a committee and start collecting campaign contributions, but that's a path that I haven't wanted to go down.
For Commitment 2018, Marcus McIntosh, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
And coming up tonight at 9 and 10, we will hear Holder's priorities for the 3rd congressional district.
This is Iowa's news leader, KCCI 8 News at 9 on MeTV.
The Libertarian candidate for Iowa's 3rd congressional district has a one-man campaign. Brian Holder does everything himself, sticking to the Libertarian Party belief of self-ownership and self-determination. KCCI's Marcus McIntosh spent some time with Holder, who says he is a strong believer that more people should be involved in politics.
The initial congressional districts only had 30,000 people in it. Now we have 760,000 people in our district.
Brian Holder says it is far too much responsibility for one person to represent 750,000 Iowans.
At some point we need to add some more seats. I don't know what that number of seats is or how many constituents David Young or Cindy or myself should represent.
Holder has had enough of cutting back congressional districts, saying it's time to add more. He thinks that is a big stumbling block when it comes to others who may want to dip their toe into the political pool.
I think any citizen that wants to run for Congress should be able to do it, or at least attempt to do it.
But he doesn't stop there. He contends that if you have to get voted in, your voice should matter.
I think that every elected representative in the 3rd congressional district, so the mayors, the city council members, the board of supervisors, the treasurers, the auditors, I think they should get to vote on what goes on in Washington.
Holder's campaign of one is all about getting out there and shaking hands himself and getting his own signatures. He says his 3rd campaign in the 3rd congressional district marks the first time he was included in a debate against the politicians he is competing against. And he says he voices his opinion with class.
You don't have to engage in politics as an adversarial endeavor.
Holder knows he has little chance of claiming the 3rd district, but says his fight is about more than a seat in Congress.
I don't care about losing the election. I want to not lose any more of our freedoms. That's what concerns me the most.
For Commitment 2018, Marcus McIntosh, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
To learn more about Libertarian candidate Brian Holder's campaign for the 3rd congressional district, log on to holderforiowa.com.